Good morning. You already know what time it is. It's Freedom Friday. Time to just take a breath and get into it. So you know how we do it. Jump on in and say hello in the comments. Holla at your girl. Let me know that you're with me this morning. Y'all know what I say every Friday. I'm excited about it because it's Freedom Friday. Now, let me just be real clear. I didn't feel like it today, right? But I'm is here. So holler at me in the comments. We're going to get into it. Hi. Hey, Jackie. Y'all see she was number one. Now somebody jump in, say hi. I have a confession. So I'm gonna give y'all a minute to say good morning so I can give y'all my confession. No, I'm not. We're just gonna get into it. So my confession is simply this. I have gained some weight. Yikes. Hi, Cupcake Mommy. I have gained some weight. I'm not gonna ask anybody if they've also gained weight. That's not my business, but I have gained some weight. So I got to figure out how I'm going to get rid of what's going on right here, right now. So I started thinking about some things I could do because I got to get this off of me, y'all. I got this thing sitting around my belly, and I call it my pandemic pork chop. Yeah, because I didn't. Yeah, and I got gravy in both pockets. Well, okay, let me just be honest. That's not true. I have 2 pork chops and gravy in both pockets. And I have a pandemic pork chop rolling around here in the front. I got some stuff going on. And yeah, I got to figure out how to get rid of it. Hey, Retta, I got to figure out how to get rid of this. And so I started thinking, and I've been thinking about this for a minute, and I mentioned it last week about getting rid of some weight, dropping some weight. So, the best way to do that is to get moving, right? I'm looking at my notes because I want to make sure that I cover what I want to cover. And so I was writing down that I need to start exercising. I need to start getting rid of it. Now, listen, I know you didn't jump on here today so I could talk to you and tell you that you needed to lose weight. I'm not going that way at all. So just stay with me a few minutes and you might stay with me the rest of it. But I decided that a good way for me to lose some weight, dough rolls, listen, a good way for me to lose some weight was to get moving, to get exercising. So let me get into today's topic because I know y'all think I'm about to get in your business, but I'm not. I might, but I don't mean to, but maybe I do. I picked up this weight and I also realized that at the beginning of the year, and it's only, what's today, the 4th of March? We're only the 3rd month in. I realized that I picked up some emotional weight. Yeah. So today's topic, I'm going to talk about exercise, but I'm talking about exercising your options to get rid of unnecessary emotional weight. Okay, because it's just unnecessary. I picked it up. I need to get rid of some other people's issues. I need to get rid of some other people's drama, some stuff that I've picked up, some stuff that I've taken in. I need to get rid of this stuff. So today I want to talk about I got options. Exercising your options. If you're just joining, do me a favor and holler at me in the chat so I can shout you out. I want to make sure I know who's with me this morning. Exercising my options. Did you know that you have options in every situation? In every single situation on this side of heaven, you have options. Even if the option is how you respond, you have an option. If you can't see a way out of a thing, if you can't see another option, you still have the option of how you will respond to it. So today I'm talking about getting rid of extra weight that we're carrying by exercising our options, right? So I was thinking about, I got to check my phone just in case somebody tells me that things look funny or something's going on. I just want to make sure that I know what's happening. But I realized that I've picked up some weight that doesn't belong to me. I've picked up some, hey, baby brother, y'all, that's my baby brother, Jay, all the way from YouTube. I've picked up some weight that's just not mine. It's just not stuff that I have to carry around. Now, listen, I got this pandemic pork chop because I picked up some stuff that I probably shouldn't have picked up, and I consumed it. I took it in, and it settled around my middle. It settled around my back pocket. It's got my jeans crying. It's got my sweatpants rejoicing because they need to be out here. It's just a lot going on. And the same thing has happened to me in some emotional areas. I've made it my business to say, well, I wonder how they're going to feel about that. When sometimes that's really not my concern and shouldn't be my concern. I need to get to the point where I exercise my options so I'm good either way, right? So let me get down to these pieces. What happens when you're carrying too much emotional weight? I'm talking about things that don't belong to you, but you've taken them on emotionally. So here's a couple things that I wrote down because I'm trying to help myself exercise my options and get myself together. I love you right back. Y'all, that's my Tink. Hey, Dion. One of the things that happens when you take on other people's drama, other people's situations, other people's problems is when you get too much emotional weight, it messes with your breathing. Let me tell you something. I've gained some weight and I had COVID, right? And so after that, I had a little bit of problem regulating my breathing. What happens when you take on emotional weight that doesn't belong to you? It interferes with how you breathe. And what am I talking about? When you can't breathe emotionally, that means that your peace is being suffocated. Listen, we need to stop letting people suffocate our peace. People are smothering our peace with their drama, with their issues, with their lies, with whatever it is that they're dealing with, and it is suffocating our peace. Let me give you an example. Do you know there's some people that when you get around them, your breathing gets shallow? You start to pant, you start to take different kinds of breaths. Before you was relaxed, you were chilling, and now all of a sudden your breathing has even changed because that person comes with a weight that sits on your chest and begins to suffocate your peace. When you find people that have the effect of suffocating your peace, your joy, your happiness, you need to start exercising and get moving. You need to exercise your options. Okay? That's one of the things. And I'm going to get to the exercise, but I just want you to kind of identify the emotional baggage or the things that you have taken on that don't belong to you because other people assigned them to you or because you opened the door for them, right? One of the other things, when you're carrying too much emotional weight, it causes your pressure to go up. What happens naturally? Naturally, when you're carrying too much weight, your body has to work harder so that oxygen flows like it's supposed to. Listen, my baby brother, let me put this on the screen, y'all. My baby brother said negative people equal asthma, physically and emotionally. I'm going to leave that right there for a minute. You're absolutely right. When your body is dealing with too much weight and it needs to get oxygen to all your vital organs, especially your heart, your pressure goes up because it takes more work for your body to distribute the oxygen that it needs to get the blood going where it needs to go. Let me make this deal with this on an emotional level. What happens is your body needs help, your heart needs help, but you have to exercise your options to keep your heart healthy. You don't want bitterness to sit up in your heart. It'll clog the arteries. It'll stop you. Hey, Sharika, it will stop you. You don't want unforgiveness to clog your heart. It will stop you, right? So you've got to exercise options that keep your heart healthy. That means that you can't let your pressure be up because of other people and their situations and what's going on with them. You can't take that on because then that thing starts to clog your heart and now your heart has issues. Now you can't deal with people the way you're supposed to because your heart is clogged, and it's clogged because you've put unnecessary weight on your heart. When you are emotionally carrying other people's problems, you begin to have problems with your knees. I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain it to you the way God explained it to me. Our knees is the point where we bend. We bend with our knees. Our knees allow us to have flexibility, right? So when you can't bend your knees because you are worried about how other people are going to respond to you bending. But sometimes we can take on so much emotional weight that we are about to break when really all we need to do is bend. So because we've taken on this emotional problem, we are breaking when what we really need to do is bend. What am I talking about? We need to be flexible in what we're dealing with. And so what happens when your weight is too high, your needs don't have flexibility. And when you can't be flexible, it's because you're too concerned about what happens if I put this stuff down. How are they going to respond to me if I put their stuff down? What's going to happen? How will it affect them? Well, if I don't keep these balls in the air, if I don't keep juggling this, and in order to do that, you've locked your knees, right? You've locked your knees in position. Now you're trying not to break so hard that your knees are locked. Anybody know what happens when you lock your knees? When you lock your knees, you pass out. Yeah, they tell you all the time when you're exercising, don't lock your knees when you're doing certain exercises because it will cause you to faint. When you're singing, don't lock your knees. You don't want to pass out under the pressure of other people's situations. Hey, Tamara, you don't want to go down like that. So your knees need to have flexibility. And the only way they're going to do that is you've got to get rid of some of the baggage. You've got to learn that it's okay to bend. It's okay to put stuff down, so that your body can function like it's supposed to, so your heart can function like it's supposed to. You're going to have to put some stuff down. But we don't do it because we're so worried about how other people are going to feel if their stuff is not at the top of my list all the time. If every time they call, I don't say, well, what's happening with you? And I don't spend an hour with what's going on with you. And sometimes, and I'm guilty, sometimes I can spend so much time consumed with what's happening with me that I forget to say to the person I'm talking to, hey, wait a minute, don't hang up. How are you? Are you okay? But there are some people that we'll talk to that won't get to that place. They'll never ask you how you're doing. They'll never ask you what's going on with you because you have become the person that carries their weight. Okay, so what am I talking about when I'm saying you need to exercise your options? Let me give you some ways to do that. Don't come home talking about how your job has made you mad, passing negative energy. Absolutely. Absolutely. When you pass that, you've got to know how to have conversations that allows other people to not feel obligated to take on your weight. We obligate people because of who they are in our lives, right? And then those things become toxic for us because we've allowed people to obligate us to their drama, to obligate us to whatever they're dealing with. I don't have to be obligated. If I love you and I care about you, then I have a position, I have a role to play. But there's got to be some other things that happen, and I'm about to give you those things in right here, so you have an idea of how do I exercise my options. Yeah, that sounds good, but how do I do that? What is the practical tool that I can use to help me get some of this weight off of me emotionally? Number one is my absolute favorite. That's why it's number one. It's my absolute favorite. And in the last few years, I've had to adopt this phrase. If it ain't about you, don't make it about you. In other words, mind your business. Listen, I've had some things go on with me, and I've had some conversations with some friends and some family, and I simply said to them, if you don't make it about you, it won't be about you. That same principle has to take precedence in my life. It has to be a priority for me, that if it ain't about me, I don't need to make it about me. Sometimes when you're talking to people, you begin to internalize what they're saying, and they're not even done talking to you yet. You've already taken on something that was not even about you. I know that's a tough pill to swallow, because we point our fingers at people and say, she made me feel like this and she made me feel like that. Well, the real deal is you took that responsibility. She may have put it out there, but you received it. And when you internalized it, you made it about you. And maybe it really was about you, and maybe it wasn't. But you've got to know what is and what isn't. Where's the unnecessary connect at? Where am I making things a issue for me, and they don't have to be? Even if a person feels a certain way about you, the way they feel about you doesn't have to be an issue for you. That's how they feel. Rock with it, roll with it, lean with it, marry it. That's how they feel. But that doesn't mean I have to take that on and make that an issue for me. Because people have options. They're allowed to feel how they feel. I don't have to make how they feel my problem. It doesn't have to become part of my problem, but that means I have to exercise that option of saying, well, if it ain't about me, I ain't gonna make it about me. Yeah, I said I ain't gonna. Y'all heard me. Okay, let me get to number two. Learn to say no. Now, you've seen that everywhere, where people say no is a complete sentence, and it is. I can stop right there if I wanted to. But there's the next part of that. I have an option. If I choose to give you an explanation, that's my option. If you choose to ask me, well, why would you say that, Delon? I can choose to answer you, or I can choose to say, because I don't want to, or because no. And I'm done talking about that. I have the option. So I have to learn to say no. And no is so hard, because we feel like our no is somehow connected to the relationship. Well, if you tell me no, you don't love me. That's called narcissism. That's called manipulation. Okay? No is just no. If you make it about whether or not I love you, then roll with that, rock with that, lean with that, and marry that. But no does not have to be connected to any of that. It's just a no. But we make that connection also because we feel like if I tell them no, they're going to feel like XYZ. Okay, well, they might, but is that no necessary for you? And if it is, you need to exercise that option. Okay, let me get to somebody do me a favor and just say no in the chat. Just say no. Don't put anything behind it. Just practice today. Just go ahead and say no. Let me get to number 3 on my list of exercising your, exercising your options. Thank you. Hey, Celeste, y'all need to check out my girl Choose Love. She is legit. Celeste, drop your information in the chat so we can send some business your way. Y'all, she does custom hoodies, hats, and she's the truth. Let me get to number 3 on exercising your options. Learn to listen with your heart and not with your hands. Learn to listen with your heart and not with your hands. What am I talking about? Sometimes people are talking and we already thinking of ways to fix it. We already thinking of ways to jump in it. So we already got our hands in the situation. Ooh, hands. We already got our hands in the situation, and they didn't ask us for help. They didn't say, ooh, Jay, what do I do about this? Ooh, hey, y'all. They didn't say none of that. Now time have they said, okay, so I need you to show me. Listen, don't be a Cain, but be a Abel. You don't start, Tamara. Listen, understand that some people are not asking you to fix it. They're asking you to listen. So learn to listen with your heart. Don't just jump in. I love you right back. Don't just jump in and start manipulating their situation, because now you've taken on something that was never yours to take on. They were trying to say to you what was going on. Sometimes people just need to vent. They need to share. They need a listening ear, not a running mouth, not a moving hand. They just need you to listen. But we take on unnecessary weight because we jump in and start fixing. Now, don't you know that there are some people, there it is, you guys, Instagram, choose love _ Matt 544. That's Matthew 5 and 44. Check her out. Sometimes people will ask you, they may start the conversation with, I really need your help. So here's what's going on. Pay attention. Sometimes they won't. I find that it works for me if I'm not sure of where this is going, that I may say to them, is this a talk moment, or is this a you just need to get this out moment? Are you asking me something? And if they say no, then I don't care how bad I think my opinion matters. I need to shut it down and just let them do whatever they're doing, right? So understand that you need to listen with your heart and not always with your hands. And then you need to exercise your options accordingly. Number 4, get balance. Don't let people be a dumping ground. So we've already covered, sometimes people just need to talk. Okay, well, some other people just like to dump. Don't be a dumping ground. Don't let people make you a trash can. Don't let people make you their therapist. They just want to dump all this junk in your lap, and now you feel obligated to do something with it. You need balance. You need to know who the dumpers are. You need to know who really wants help. And sometimes, regardless of which side they fall on, you may still need to choose out. You may need to opt out, right? But it's important for you to know that sometimes you need to fall back. Sometimes you need to get back, because some people are not explaining, they're complaining. And that energy becomes your energy. And now you've got a weight on you. And now we're all the way back to the beginning, and your peace is being suffocated. Your joy is being smothered. Your hope is being hanged. You hear me? All right. Number 5, properly prioritize. We get stressed about stuff that hasn't even happened yet. They still in the middle of the story and you stressed. Sometimes we get stressed on things like, oh my God, in 6 months, this needs to happen. Or what if this happens or doesn't happen? But what if he says this instead of he says that? None of that has even happened yet. You're already stressed about a hypothetical when you got real life issues that you need to be dealing with. I'm talking to Delon. When I say you, I mean me, I mean us, I mean we. Okay. Yours, mine, ours. We can talk for hours. Y'all know what I'm saying? Okay, so prioritize. Deal with what you need to deal with today. Get your priorities together. Figure out where things fall. I'm a very visual person. And sometimes when I have a situation, I'll get myself a, they up there, I can't reach them. I get myself a yellow pad and I'll split it down the middle, and over here I write pros, over here I write cons, over here I write now, over here I write later, and I line everything up, and then I work on the now. And if I need to move stuff, I move stuff so I can get my priorities together. Sometimes you need a visual. I don't know how you're going to do that, but you need to properly balance things so that you can exercise your options. Let me tell you what I wrote down. It is my job. I told y'all this got started. I was thinking about my pandemic pork chop. Yeah, it's sitting right under here. Yeah, it's bad. But my job is, if I'm going to exercise my options, I wrote myself a note and said, my job is to focus on my own weight first and not yours. My job is to focus on what's weighing me down. My job is to focus on what's happening over here. I need to get my priorities together. Listen, I am not talking about loving people and caring for people and being there. We're going to do all of that, but it has to be done with a healthy balance. It has to be, because when it is not, then you will find yourself, the scales are tipped. And sometimes we take on stuff that we just don't have to. It just is. Learn to exercise your options. When people are mad at you, you have an option. You can fall out with them, or you can just keep it moving. You can apologize. You can forgive. You have options. And pick the option that's going to be most beneficial and healthy for you in your spiritual walk, in your relationship with God, in your relationship with your brothers and sisters, however that floats out. You've got to learn to use your options. When things get bad, remind yourself, whoa, 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 I got options. Just like when I go out to eat, I got options. I don't walk into a restaurant and they put a plate down in front of me, and that's not what I wanted to eat. I have options. Check your menu. When you're talking to people, check the menu. Find out what people are offering you, because you have options on what you take in. You have options. And the Bible put it like this. Y'all know I wasn't getting out of here without this scripture right here. And I'm going to paraphrase it for you. But it's 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. You know, you hear people say it all the time. He won't put more on me than I can bear. It's actually in the Bible. It's just not worded that way. It says that there's no temptation. There's no temptation that's going to overtake you that's not common to man, but God is faithful, and he always makes a way of escape. You feel me? So what is he saying? The Bible is saying simply this: you have options. He always makes a way of escape. We don't have to stay in the place that we're in. We don't have to choose to stay stuck. We don't have to choose to be emotionally unhealthy and overweight. We can get ourselves all the way together when we choose to use the options that God has given us. We have prayer, we have fasting, we have scripture, we have love, we have fellowship, we have options. So I want to thank you for joining me, because you had an option. I thank you for joining me today for Freedom Friday. Not only am I going to get this pandemic pork chop off me and this extra gravy out of my back pocket, I'm also going to get myself emotionally healthy and get rid of the extra weights that I have taken on just from the beginning of the year. I want my heart to pump like it's supposed to. I want my knees to bend. Listen, when Beyonce say, give me something, what she say, give me something, whatever she say, I want to be able to bend them. Okay? I want to be able to do what I got to do so that I can function my very, very best. Mind, body, and soul. I hope you have enjoyed Freedom Friday. You guys have an amazing weekend. Do me a solid. Share the video. Remember I said I had a free gift? I didn't finish it in time because I let some other things get on my plate. But I got you. Don't even worry about it. The Beehive. Don't start. Me and my brother got this whole conversation. Don't start. So make sure that you follow, share, help me get the YouTube views up so we get some followers over there. You guys know what I do. I deal hope. I push purpose. That's what I do. I love you guys. Have an amazing weekend. Holla at your girl. And don't forget, you got options. Bye.